Yes, it's a good day for singing a song.
Hello, friends! Welcome to Tori Talks TV. Hi, Dr. S.
Hi, Tori.
So today we are going to review The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel Season 2. And specifically, we will be talking about episodes 1 and 2.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how happy are you that it's back?
So happy.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Hanukkah.
And a Hanukkah miracle and a Kwanzaa miracle. All right.
All holidays.
Yes, so let's dive into it. Okay, so it starts off with Midge, and we see that she has a new job as an operator.
At the same department store.
Yeah, because she was at the makeup counter, but then some drama happened with Penny, the mistress. And...
She'll get back there, though. That's her
oh,
goal.
I know she
That's
can
her
do
goal.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously, I realized by watching this again that she's good at everything she does.
Yeah.
So you even see in the call center, all the girls are asking her for help. Because she's so good.
They're like freaking out. They're getting anxiety. And she's just like, I got this. She like rolls over on her little like office chair to like save the day.
Doesn't stress at all.
Yes.
So more of the same of her. And then we see that Susie is still her manager. Susie played by the fabulously talented Alex Borstein. Yes. She's hilarious. And something crazy happens with Susie. I think it's because she kind of gave herself a bad reputation. There's like these two like goons that come and take her, and she's kind of like freaked out, and they're like, we're gonna have to rough her up. Like they're serious, man, and she's like trying to crack her jokes to like lighten the mood. It turns out that she's from the Rockaways. Is Rockaway?
I don't understand.
Same place?
Yeah.
But no, like she's like making friends with these guys that are supposed to like supposedly like mess her up, and we all think that it ties back from that guy that she wronged, got the bad reputation for it. You remember that guy from the other season?
Kind of.
Yeah. So that's what we think. Anyway, a big thing that happens in this episode is, where's Midge's mom?
Oh gosh.
Where'd she go?
The scene where like
oh my gosh,
Midge puts it together for the dad.
That was so sad and pathetic. Okay, so the dad, he calls Abe. He calls Midge and is like, where's your mom? I can't find your mom. She should be here. So she races home, and she's like, well, where did she say she was going? He's like, oh, she said she went to Paris, but she'd be back. And like, wait, what? She said she went to Paris? Like, you don't just go to Paris.
This is like the 50s. You don't even like...
And like, how long has she even been gone is the question. But so then they find, and she lives there too. So they're finally like, wait a minute, maybe we haven't been paying much attention to her. So they finally find out from the maid that, yeah, she's been in Paris.
She's gone to Paris.
All her
clothes in the closet.
Everything's gone. How did they not notice that?
Yeah.
And she even left a note saying, this is my address in Paris. They're like, in big letters. And nobody noticed. Okay, so...
Obviously, Mom's a little bit invisible.
Oh, and I think that might be the reason why she moved to Paris, because she knew nobody would even catch on to it. So, of course, Midge and Abe, her dad, have to go fly to Paris to find her.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. And so, when they finally do find her, she's in this very humble, quaint apartment. Not a lot of furniture, with a dog.
Right.
Good old Simone, the dog. And she's like, obviously, I guess she already knew French from before when she had studied there.
Yes.
But she looks like she's really happy.
She's so happy.
Yeah, and she's like independent.
She's found her own place.
Her own way in life.
Her own identity.
Yeah, because I guess she had been complaining before she left that she didn't really feel like she had a purpose anymore.
Her daughter doesn't need her.
He doesn't really
listen
give
to
her the time. He doesn't listen to her though.
Obviously, because
he didn't even know she was gone.
Like, I'm going to Paris.
I'm disappointed in you.
Like, I went to the grocery store. No.
Yeah,
I went across the world.
I know, exactly. So Abe, he says, he's like, this is ridiculous. I'm not leaving until, like, you come with me. Like, I'm staying here as long as you're here. But, of course, Midge has to get back to her life in New York. But, so Midge is, like, out one night, going for a walk in beautiful streets of Paris, and then she kind of stumbles upon this club, which turns out to be, like, this drag show. And, you know, she's, like, trying to help out this drag queen who's, like, zippers down, so she's, like, following her around the stage, and then somehow gets up there on stage.
She's just, like, a magnet for the stage. It reminds me of the first season where she was, like, at, in New York City at, you know, the Archway? the park downtown.
Oh yeah,
and she just like winds up giving a speech and then a like a routine, like a feminist like comedy routine.
Very charismatic.
Yeah, she just finds herself on stage because that's what she's born to do, people.
Exactly, and
Born
she
to do.
ends up giving this like impromptu stand-up routine because there happens to be an American in the audience who can translate for her. It was so cool, and even in Paris, her comedy was funny. So. She's multi-talented.
She speaks the truth, people.
Exactly.
The truth,
exactly, yes. So while she's in Paris, she's got to, make sure the kids are okay. And she calls back and she calls Joel, her husband. Because in this routine in Paris, it kind of brings back all, like, the memories of how, they were going to reconcile their relationship. It looked like they were going to get back together. But then he was upset when he saw her comedy. Basically because he was trying to be the comedian. Yeah. But she stole the spotlight.
Joel.
Let's talk
about Joel. I think he's supposed to be important.
Okay.
I mean, Maisel is his name. And so I should care. I think that's what they're trying to tell me to do. But at this point, I do not.
You don't.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I have the same feelings about Joel.
And I'm sure it's intentional.
Is it?
I mean, I feel like we're supposed to not give a crap.
Because we don't.
I know, and I'm sure.
But I know.
Just like, Joel, who gives a crap?
He serves his purpose. Thanks for the name. But otherwise.
Maisel-Toff.
Yeah.
You couldn't have Maisel-Toff without.
Maisel-Toff. But,
right?
That was a good
without
one.
Maisel.
Yeah. So Joel's also, like, starting over.
Yes.
Because, like, he quit his job.
Yes.
Doing whatever. And he, like, lives with his parents. Anyway. So she, like, so she has to, like, call back and call him and like see how it's going, and then she's kind of like, hey, can we just like work this out because I miss you, man. And he's like, no, I don't want to be the butt of your jokes anymore. Figure it out,
dude. The truth is funny, but he can't handle it.
He can't handle the truth.
Handle it.
I want to like him, but I don't. All right, so then that brings us to episode 2.
Yes.
Okay, so good old Susie's like hiding out.
Oh my gosh.
From the goons, the thugs of that guy, Harry Drake. We're assuming that it's from Harry Drake. Nobody ever actually says that. But it's so funny. She's like hanging out in Midge's parents' house, and she leaves all these notes like, don't touch my dad's robe, and don't use my mom's soap.
It's like rule number 1.
And what does she do?
She does exactly
she breaks all the rules.
And then it's like, rule number 38.
But I mean, did you expect her to follow the rules?
She's awesome.
She's a rebel in that way.
She's so funny.
All right, so turns out that interview that she gave to Vintage Voice, that like whatever, it got Midge
attention.
Yes, a paying gig.
But Midge
downtown.
is not happy about it.
Yeah, because if you think about it, she actually hasn't told her family or friends anything about this stand-up comedy career. So she's like, cool, but I don't know.
Just like lay low.
Be confident, Midge. Like, but she so is.
She's so good.
Like I said, everything she does is a success.
Can I tell you? I've been like thinking about like as I watch the show, like what I'm thinking of. I feel like every show is like kind of like feminist porn.
Whoa.
So like I'm just waiting for her to get on stage.
I like that.
Every episode I'm like, when's she gonna get on stage?
You anticipate it.
When's she gonna get on stage? Because when she gets on stage, dude, it's like butter. It's like so good. I'm just like, yeah, you go, girl.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Like every scene leading up to it is like the foreplay.
Oh, I like that.
It's like building and building, and like especially in episode 2 where they're like, they keep pushing her. Like first she was like spot number 3 at the club, and then like something happened,
and then she got
she's like bumped to number 3. And then she's bumped to number 4, or 4 to 5. And then, like, this big comedy guy comes. He wasn't even that funny, by the way.
I don't think so.
That dude, I was like, get over yourself.
Seriously.
And then she gets bumped. And then she, like, gets the mustard all over herself. And you're like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Like, is it going to happen? And then she gets on the stage, and I'm like, yes!
Exactly. What you've been waiting for all along.
Thank you.
The final act.
She's so good, though.
Yes. Oh, she's so good.
She's so good!
I know.
And then, like, the act itself was, like, those 4 dudes that were, like... clowning her.
Don't
like,
even get me started.
A girl's gonna get on stage.
They literally like heckled, insulted her. They were chauvinistic.
And she got them
She
good.
sure did.
Feminist porn.
I would actually like to quote what she said.
Tell me.
I think she was mainly speaking to those men. She said, and I quote, "Comedy is fueled by oppression, by the lack of power, by sadness and disappointment, by abandonment and humiliation. Now, who the hell does that describe more than women?"
Women.
Nailed it!
That was... Yes,
best line ever.
Feminist theory at its best.
That was very cool. I love that she said that.
That was so good.
So, she continues to be awesome at everything she does. But let's not forget this sweet storyline. Abe stayed in Paris. Abe stayed in Paris with Rose. So he's like, I'm not leaving without her. So it's so cool to see in the second episode that he's there and he's kind of making a life there with her.
The little montage of their life in Paris was like so cute.
Sweet.
Like so sweet. So she's like going to the museum and like Rodin and the sculptures and she's just loving it.
Yeah.
And then he's a professor at Columbia in New York and he's like at the salon in France, talking to all these people. Although I'm doing British, I don't know why.
It's close enough to Europe, French. So, same continent.
But they're just like talking and like being like little, philosophers, and he's just having a great time. And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna stay.
I thought
were you like they were gonna stay?
And I was kind of hoping like for her sake, you know what I mean? I mean, and even like it kind of rekindled the romance because
they were doing it. In that little twin bed, because all the beds in Europe are small.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, really? Even still now to this day?
Well, I mean, like, at least 10 years ago, the last time I was there.
Well.
Yeah, twin beds.
Even, like, they were sitting at the table together, and they were talking about their day, and he was kind of listening to her.
I was like, are they going to stay?
I know. And she was so excited about staying. She, like, went and showed him an apartment and was like, this is where we can live. And he's kind of like, I'm a professor at Columbia, and like class starts in a week, so like.
Well, what was interesting too is like it was cross-cut with Joel showing Midge the apartment in New York.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, it's kind of interesting. Like Joel is trying to tell Midge what she needs to do, like live in this apartment, and then Rose was trying to show Daddy.
Abe,
Daddy what to do by living in this apartment, but it was like kind of similar.
Oh,
so I was
that's
just
interesting.
like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. But then it kind of takes a different turn.
Yeah,
because he's like, okay, we need to go back to New York. Like, I have to get back life, and she agrees to go.
Yeah,
but it's so sad.
No, okay. I know, because that her heart was set on being there. But he does give her, some hope, because he says that he's gonna like get her connections at Columbia University to audit like the art history class as long as she continues her education. So he's working with her. There's some kind of compromise. At least they're working together now as a unit.
She was so happy at the end because I feel like what the difference between what Joel was doing with Midge and what like the showing of the apartment to Abe was that there was like that negotiation and compromise. So it's just kind of like comparison of like the different relationships. And like I love that.
True.
I love that.
He even gets them dance lessons at the like Arthur Murray dance studio because you remember they had their sweet little moonlit dance at the Seine River.
Did you see with the Notre Dame in the background?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that was so cute.
That was beautiful.
That was so beautiful.
So he's like, he gets it. I thought maybe at first when she's like runs away to Paris, she's being like a spoiled little brat, like, but like look what it did.
I know.
It obviously was effective.
And what's really interesting is like in the first season, he's like trying to make Midge go back to Joel, like, no, you have to be together. Like, and then like this, I feel like season 2 is like they're really gonna be like a central couple, which I'm so happy about.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it because Joel, I'm not so sure I care about you.
I don't even love the casting for Joel. I said it. We
spend a lot of time with Joel and his dad.
Oh yeah, because their business is failing. His family's business is kind of failing, so he's trying to like kind of like
and
help them.
I'm sure it will matter
at some point.
But as far as episode 2, I don't really give a crap.
No, I mean it's only been 2 episodes of the season, so we'll see. But it is off to a really good start. Yeah, maybe a little slower than season 1, but how can you compare it to season 1? Sophomore slump. But still, it's really good.
Solid.
Yes, still fast-paced and charming, which I love. So, that is it for today, but please stay tuned to next episode where we talk about episodes 3 and 4 of The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Yes. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Maisel Talk.
Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day.